Hey guys, how is it going? It's your boy Gazza9919 here. It's been a bit of a while since I've done any videos, so I figured now's the perfect opportunity. Today I'm going to be changing the springs on Chloe's Golf because she has a spring go on her. And naturally it's absolutely hammering it down, but the problem is I've got work tomorrow and she needs her car, so it's either today or never really. And the problem is usually I just let her use my car, but the problem is on the Beamer is the seat doesn't go forward and backwards. So I need to fix the slider rail on that. I've got two, because obviously if you're going to do one you may as well do them both, but for today, given how the weather is and whatnot, I think I'm just going to do one. I've not got a lot of motivation for this today, I tell you. The general gist of the problem is, as you can see, the spring has gone over the shock, as you can see, and that is an issue. That's something we've got to sort out. I'm quite confident it's a spring that's snapped. As for the shock absorber to give out on the plate there, it's not very common. So we have our little nut adapter thing. I actually do like these wheel nuts, to be fair. This little adapter goes in there. We just got to be careful because I think you can round them quite easy. Okay, so now we have the wheel off. You can have a bit of a closer inspection. I don't really want to touch that with my fingers too much. As we can see around here, it looks like it's snapped, lost the small bit at the bottom of the spring, then skipped over, and that small bit is probably 50 miles away, wherever it went. So now we've got to take this brake out. This brake hose here. Take that out. Need to unbolt that there so that we can get a bit of room. The main thing is going to be this pin at the back, which luckily it doesn't look too rusty. Ladies and gents, so we have encountered a problem, and this is usually what happens on these sort of days where it's hammering it down and you're absolutely drenched. As you can see, looks like I've just come out the shower. Basically, the problem is the pinch bolt on the shock absorber at the bottom has a bolt on one side and then a weird sort of splined insert on the other, which is all well and good because it's usually like Torx or whatever, but this one's like sort of like this shape. I think it's a M. I don't know what these are called. And the problem is I need a bigger one of these. Right then, so I've been very lucky in that the mechanic I usually use when jobs are a bit too big for me, I gave him a ring and he has given me these. So one is a 14mm and one is a 16. I had a 12 and the 12 wasn't big enough, so I asked for just two of the neck sizes up, so that I can definitely not be making two trips if the 14 is too small. I told him, you know, it's for a Golf, and he says good luck, because apparently these nuts are a nightmare. Like he said, the top mount nuts on the top is just a nut, but on the bottom it is synced in rubber, so sometimes it just spins and spins and spins, and sometimes you get lucky, you get all three off. But he said you know, you can't sort of half-arse it in a way. You have to disassemble the hub. So we got to take the drive shaft out, we got to take the drop link, the track rod end off, to get it off the shock correctly. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, and it's still absolutely hammering it down. So looks like we're gonna have another shower. So as it turns out, today is not my day at all. So inside the hub, well, the nut that holds the drive shaft on is called a double hex nut. This is your standard hex, hence why it's a hexagon, and this is your double hex. Now, thankfully, the mechanic I usually use when jobs are too big is in a good mood today, and I've had he's let me borrow that and the other M sort of tool, so with any luck we can progress a bit more now. Bit of a sit rep. Track rod end has been unbolted, just need to knock it out. Drop links unbolted, all the bolts are off for the control arm, the nut for the drive shaft is slackened, and I've basically taken off the nut for that. So now we've just got to try and pry this open and get this off the shock, get the knuckle from the shock, and then we're going to have to attack the 3 bolts up top. So that's what we're going to be faced with when I do attack that then. So it might be worth cleaning those up, because there's no real nut as such to put a socket round, so I might have to just clean them up and see how we go with them. Okay, so
Jake's got it off.
Yeah, he's here. He's arrived.
What do you mean arrived? I've been here and got it off for you.
So I've single-handedly done all this with no help from anybody. Jake just did the end bit and took the credit, as always. Now we've just got the top bolts to worry about, and we'll see what we can do. If I have to be honest, my life has literally been turned into a living hell right now. We've done everything. We've got everything off the bottom. Now it's just those 3 bolts at the top. Like I said, how we got that issue. Because that one, the other 2 have come off, and that one there is just spinning with the bolt. If you can see the nut, it's sort of, it is and it isn't a knot. So it's really tricky how we're going to deal with this. I'm at the stage now where I'm going to just try and hammer maybe a smaller socket on, see if we can create a nut so that we have something to grab onto. You can't grab it with pliers, you can't grab it with anything really, you've just got to pray. It is looking rather likely like I'm not going to do this job, and I really hate it when this happens because it really defeats me, especially when you like doing this as a hobby. You work on cars as a hobby and you get defeated, and it's taken me a good 4 or 5 hours to get to where I am now. This is really unfortunate, and I always hate making a video like this, but it is a case of putting it back together. I've failed. That's the that's whole ins and outs of this, and all because of the bolt at the very back. That one there just peeking around the corner. These 2 absolutely fine, but Volkswagen, it's such a bad design on the suspension. You got the bolt on the top, fair enough, but there's no nut on the bottom, and it's set in rubber. So I don't know if it's glued into the rubber or what, but that obviously over time, whatever they use to hold it there wears off, and it just ends up spinning with a bolt. I haven't got a replacement bolt for that. Not that you should have to use a replacement anyway. It's crap, but I mean, I guess there's got to be a point where you admit defeat, because otherwise I'll just be here till late at night in the pouring down rain. I really feel bad that this video didn't come out the way I intended, and you know, we didn't get the job done. I always like to sort of see through everything, but that one nut, it's in such a tricky place. And I haven't got a replacement, so I couldn't just cut it off, and even if I wanted to cut it off, there's not enough room to. I think I'd probably need a Dremel, but it'd just be, I don't think it'd be possible really. Times like these really gets to me, but you know, sometimes I guess you've just got to know when to walk away. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys, and with that sad conclusion, I hope you did enjoy this upload and a little look at what I'm up to lately. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, maybe even bell icon for notifications on future uploads. But until the next time, guys, peace.